Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to another video from T.W White Sons Mazda. Here we have today a Mazda MX-5. This is a 1.8i and this is a 2000 model. Now, as I take you around the car, hopefully you can appreciate the condition and the originality of this vehicle. I've taken a lot of photographs as well, so please do study them. Hopefully, yes, so you'll be able to appreciate the conditions. It's really a very lovely example. Now, we took this in part exchange a few weeks ago now. We sold the couple an ND, so the latest shape MX-5. It was about a year old. It was a beautiful car that we had. It was so good that we actually had it in our showroom. And they travelled down from Hertfordshire, but they'd actually owned this car for about 19 or 20 years. So they absolutely love it, and I promised them that I would find a good home. Now, when the car came in, I had to get a few little bits and pieces done to the vehicle to get it in this condition, and I've still got a bit of mechanical prep to do, which shall be done. So what we've done so far, I've had the alloy wheels professionally refurbished. So they've been taken away, they've been stripped, they've been repaired, and they've been powder coated. Okay, so when they're powder coated, this is better than original because it's much more hard wearing and resistance against corrosion. So the wheels are absolutely spotless. So whoever buys this car has to be very careful not to mark them. Okay, now the Achilles heel of these vehicles are the sills where the drains for the hood are. So they're the rear of the sills, and I've done some close-up photographs of them, but they're down here. If you're ever looking at these cars, you've got to check down here for blistering. These are perfect. Okay, now they're perfect because one of them I've had repaired. They weren't bad, but I've just sort of caught them in time and I've repaired them professionally. Okay, so they are spot on. So that's a job that you're not going to have to do. All right, now this is British Racing Green Metallic. I'd say it's the best colour for this car. A lot of this era MX-5 came in a bronzy colour, which I like. I like it more today than I did 20 years ago, but this is definitely the colour to have. But obviously colour is a personal preference. Now, the other fantastic thing about this car, it has a new Mohair Hood. So, well, I say new, it's fairly recent. Okay, this was fitted I think in 2018, so yeah, okay, I lied, it's 3 years old. But look at it, absolutely beautiful. So this car originally would have had a vinyl roof. This is a mohair, and they're a lot nicer feel, a nicer look, and they're harder wearing. Now, I don't know if you're familiar with these cars at all, but to put the hood up, you've got two latches either side. Okay, so it's not much of a chore. It's easier to do when you're in the car, in fact. Let me show you. So you put them down like so. I really needed an assistant today, I think. Let me do the other side, you'll be able to see this. So, there you go. So you could do that in the car. So there's a real bonus there. As you can see, it's all in great condition, and it's got a rear heated glass screen. The earlier Mark 1s had vinyl, Mark 2s had glass, so this is all correct. And look, there's no mould on the inside of the hood, which you got on a lot of these, especially when they hadn't been used so much. So let me show you how this beautiful car, look how handsome that looks with the hood up. Absolutely beautiful. Now this car is all original. I had the option to change the wheels instead of having them refurbished, but I like to keep the car as original as possible. And I think they suit the car very, very well. There was a wheel cap missing, which I ordered. I managed to get from Mazda. It had to come from Europe, but that arrived yesterday. And that's what's really delayed me in having this car advertised. And look, it's got the original supply dealer plates on, Mill Cars, which I believe are North London. All right, and it's got a tremendous service history, which I'll share with you. when we get in the car. But I've also taken some photographs of it. Now I'm going to show you under the bonnet. Now I know a lot of people modify these cars with all these fancy bits and pieces, air filters and stuff, but this is all original. Okay, we'll probably clean this up a little. Not that it needs much cleaning, but it's all lovely and correct. There's no chrome bits and brushed aluminium and bits and pieces like that. It's all nice and original. Now these are aluminium bonnets, so that's how I was always told to shut them. I've actually been in the Mazda game 19 years, so I remember these cars very, very well, and I have a bit of a I don't know, a connection with them, let's say. We've had a lot of these pass through us over the years, and we sometimes, we often pass them on because they're a bit old, a bit far gone. But it's a real shame, because I feel that they'll probably do another couple of years once they're sold off to their next owner, and then that's probably the end of its life. And I don't want to see these cars coming to the end of their life. So I feel quite good, you know, sort of titivating these, doing some repairs on them, getting them all up to scratch, and then hopefully they'll be on the road, you know, for the next many years to come. And that's what I'm hoping. This will really suit an enthusiast. I'd love it to go to a buyer that has a garage, or that can, you know, put a cover on the car, because it really, really does deserve it. This is a classic car, it really is, and it's a very nice example. Right, I'm going to show you in the boot. So in the armrest here, you've got boot and fuel flap. All right. So there's the boot. And look at this. It has a spare wheel. Look, it's all lovely under here. You know, no moisture. Doesn't look like that's ever been used. All the jacks in place. Very lovely indeed. And look, the tonneau cover. Now the tonneau cover, in case you don't know, when the hood's down, that area there, which can look a bit untidy, can be covered with the tonneau cover. So if you've got a garage and you're going to use the car, you know, on fair weather days, it's ideal. And then you've got your fuel flap here. All right. I've ordered a new aerial because the aerial's missing. They're a fixed aerial on these. But look at the paintwork on this car. I've had it all professionally polished. Look at it. As I say, you can go and buy a cheaper one. I won't argue with that. But you'll end up spending a fortune and you know, giving yourself a bit of a headache over it all. With this, you just get in the car and off you go, and you just enjoy it and, you know, polish it and you know, just sort of love the car really. So let's get to the inside. So the interior is all in great shape. It's all original. It's even got the original radio. Now I wouldn't expect someone to keep that. Well, unless they're happy with, you know, the traditional FM AM channels, or they have a extensive cassette collection. So I'm going to start the car up. Okay, now I've driven this car over here. This is the rugby club. It's about 1.5 miles from the dealership, and it just took me back in time. I started working for T.W White on the 18th of August 2003. So, you know, coming up 20 years soon, and you know, these cars were what, 3 years old then. So I remember them. I was a young man then. Still a young man now, but I was a young man then, and I loved driving these. These are really, really, really lovely cars. You've got a heater that works brilliantly. Cigarette lighter that's never been used. Yeah. Rear fog light there. Headlight levels there, you can adjust. Clock, which is reading the correct time. You know, I'd be inclined to keep this, or, you know, upgrade it, but keep this, you know, keep this in a box somewhere. Definitely worth keeping hold of that. There's the mileage. It's an 85,282 miles, and it's not done many miles in the last few years. I was looking through the service history earlier. Steering wheel's all in great condition. Yeah, it's not like overly worn or anything. Yeah, all really lovely indeed. Right, so this is a two-owner car, if I haven't already mentioned it, and the last owner for 20 years. I think I'm repeating myself now. Now, look at this. Now, I've got that many invoices, and I've got the old invoices from when it was serviced at its original supplying dealer. Look at this, 1.8i, 1st of March 2000. So can you imagine that day? The first owner was probably dead excited, you know, the plate change day. So it would have gone from a V to a W, yeah. And there's the paint code, 18J, racing green, engine number. And from memory, they changed this car after 3 years, like a lot of people do. And then the second owner, the customers of ours, they got the vehicle. They purchased the vehicle. They've absolutely loved it. There you go, look, pre-delivery inspection, Beaconsfield Mazda. I think they're mill cars. Their names may have changed. There you go, look at that. So, first service, mill cars. Second service, mill cars. Third, Priory Motor Group. Fourth, mill cars. Fifth, mill cars. Sixth, mill cars. Seventh, mill cars. Eighth, mill cars. Ninth, mill cars. 10th, mill cars. 11th, mill cars. 12th, mill cars. Right, and then we go on to invoices. All right. Now, I can't show you every single invoice because you'd probably get bored. But this has had like discs and pads in the last few thousand miles. It had it's done 85,000. It had its cam belt done at 78,000. It's actually had 3 cam belt services in its time, so that includes the water pump as well. It's had a new alternator fairly recently. I say fairly recently, recent in mileage I'd say, but in years probably in the last 2 or 3 years. Okay, so it's been a well-maintained, loved vehicle with you know, great provenance, I think they'd call that, with all that history. I have some classic cars myself. I wish my classic cars had that sort of history. I really do. You know, I'd be really happy, you know, to have a car with history like that, and you know, I'd know it'd be worthwhile to, you know, keep the car and maintain the car for the foreseeable. Now, I know this is an older car, but we will still provide you with a 1-year warranty on this vehicle. Okay, we will be servicing it. We will be MOTing it. On the last MOT, you'll see an advisory for a slightly rusty seal that's been repaired, as you can see from the photos and what I pointed out, and it's been done beautifully. All right. There are a few other little bits and bobs, the area I want to do, and anything that comes up in the service that needs doing will be done. All right. Now, part exchange is extremely welcome. If you have a look on our website, you'll see, oh, hold on a minute, you know, they're a Mazda Suzuki dealer, but they've also got a, I don't know, a BMW or a Toyota, etc., etc. We welcome part exchange. We really, really do. Whatever you have, okay, so give us a go. Do try us at any time of day. Outside business hours, it's probably best to drop us an email. However, you can, if you do call us and we don't answer, leave a voicemail. We shall come back to you as quickly as possible. Okay, so we're here to please and answer any of your questions, and we'd like this to be an enjoyable purchasing experience. So I hope you've enjoyed my video. I hope I haven't gone on too long, but I was so looking forward to doing this video because we don't get cars like this. If you have a look, we video all our cars, but one of these, I don't think I've even done one of these. So yeah, excuse my enthusiasm. So look forward to hearing from you. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye-bye. Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to the second part of our video on this Mazda MX-5 1.8. Now, I'm sure a lot of you who are watching this video are aware of the weak points in these MX-5s, and it generally is rust. So I thought I'd show you the underside of the vehicle, It's something that I would want to know if I was looking at the car. And this car, we have done some work on the car, and it's all been put right professionally. So let me show you. Now, the sills, they weren't completely rotten or anything like that, but there was some blistering. So I've had that all professionally repaired. So that won't need to be done for years to come. Well, in fact, if this car's well looked after, I'm hoping the next owner will garage the vehicle. You won't ever have to do this. Now look, notice the drain holes. There's no rot here, no rot along here, no rot on the sills at all. Okay, it's all done perfectly as per the factory finish. So that's they're the things that I always look for. Now on the Mark 1s and 2s, the other weak spot is this structural part here. I believe this is like a chassis leg. Okay, now this, a lot of people have these sort of welded up and plated. We have replaced this section here, so this is all brand new. Okay, it's an extensive job. You have to take the engine out to do it. Okay, and this has been done. So, you know, if you garage the vehicle, you cherish it, you look after it, you'll never have to do that. Again, it's been properly done, not just plated, which you'll find a lot have. You know, they've just sort of plated it so it'll pass the MOT. That's all been cut out and replaced. When we did this, we also changed the drop links. We've changed some power steering pipes, and I've put a new radiator in the car as well, because the radiator was just a little bit worse for wear when we took it out to do that job. But look at that, absolutely beautiful on the underside. I have some classic cars of my own. I wish they looked as good as this underneath. There's a little bit of surface corrosion, which of course you'd get that on a 2-year-old car, but it's all lovely, all very, very good indeed. I say those sills are absolutely spot on. I know when people have them repaired, sometimes they have kind of, I call it MOT welding, but this is, you know, as per the factory spec. This has been painted as well with the sort of texture which you get on the bottom part of the door. In the first part of the video I showed you the wheels, but I can show you them closer. Now these were powder coated, so they're actually better than original. They're not just wet painted, so that's good for corrosion, etc. Brake discs, there's no lippage on them at all very good indeed. All the under tray is all present. It's all very clean indeed. So this car would be perfect for an enthusiast who just really wants to enjoy the vehicle and pamper it. The paintwork's beautiful. Obviously, please do study the photos. Obviously, you get a bit of surface rust on the exhaust parts, but that's just the way it is on untreated metal. Okay, so what I'm going to do is let me lower the car. Now I have taken quite a few photographs of the underside. Now I just want to show you this again. So this section here has been replaced. As I say, look, it's not been plated, it's still got the original holes, etc. I believe they're the spot welds, so it's been done correctly. To be honest, it probably would have passed an MOT, but you know, it's not really fair to sell a vehicle with that sort of corrosion that's only going to get worse. But look, it's got all the spot welds, all the brackets for the anti-roll bar, etc. So a real good proper job, and then under sealed as well. So really pleased with that. I say you can definitely buy a cheaper one, but you'd be very lucky to get one that's had all these bits done properly, or doesn't need it at all. Now I'm actually going to put this car in our showroom. It's going to look really pretty. I do love the colour. Apologies, it's a bit dusty. I've got to get her cleaned, but I want to have a quick look under the bonnet. Now it's the first time I've looked under the bonnet in a few weeks, so I hope it's I hope it's pretty, but I did take some photographs of it prior to the car having the structural work done. So let's have a look. There we are, all looks lovely and pretty. So I just want to point out actually so this sort of chassis rail here, which is the strength on the car. If you can see my finger there, this inside here, these are the sections we've replaced, which holds the anti-roll bar bushes, and it goes to the front of the car. So that's where the strength is in case you were unlucky enough to have an impact. So they've been replaced both sides. So for those MX5 people out there, you'll know all about that, but I just want to say it's been correctly done. We bought the repair panels rather than make them up, and you know, cut all the old rotten metal out, stitched it all in, and I say it is as new really. Radiator's brand new. Look at that. I've got some old classics, and I had a radiator record the other record. Cost me a fortune. Luckily, you can still get parts for these cars for a decent price, so that will make sure your MX-5 won't have any heating problems. I had the rocker cover like vapor blasted. I haven't made it shiny or anything like that, just to get it back to, you know, how I remember them being when they were new. Okay, so yeah, all really tidy. I did have these vapor blasted and powder coated because they look really untidy, all rusty. Okay, so I hope this video has been informative, and I hope it's answered a lot of questions, especially on these older cars, because it is very much, you know, what lies beneath. So thanks for watching the video, and we look forward to hearing from you. Bye bye.